On the surface, life keeps moving. Work gets done. Relationships stay intact. Responsibility is carried. Yet inside, the mind never goes quiet. Overthinking is not excess thought. It is an alarm that never shuts off. You do not spiral because you are fragile, but because your brain learned that stopping meant danger. The real shift is this. Overthinking is not a thinking issue. It is a safety issue. This video breaks down that psychology, not to tame your thoughts, but to explain why rest never felt allowed. With safety as the lens, daily overthinking becomes very concrete. You replay old conversations again and again, not to gain insight, but to search for where you went wrong. You edit a message repeatedly because one misplaced word feels capable of changing how someone sees you. Small choices feel heavy, since your mind instantly imagines serious consequences. You rehearse worst-case scenarios not out of negativity, but because preparation once reduced pain. It resembles thinking, yet it is a state of being stuck. When those patterns are traced to their core, the nature of overthinking becomes clearer. Overthinking is not aimed at solving problems, but at keeping discomfort away. The mind stays active as a guard, constantly asking whether any danger has been missed. The control it offers fades quickly, yet it is enough to keep the cycle running. You are not dependent on thoughts themselves, but on the relief of not being surprised. With every loop, the brain learns that stopping feels risky. Beneath all of this, the psychological roots converge at a single point, extending the understanding just named. Children who were blamed or closely watched learn to monitor themselves constantly, hoping to avoid punishment or shame. Those raised in unpredictable environments train their minds to anticipate every shift so nothing would catch them off guard. Emotional insecurity taught that mistakes could cost love, while achievement pressure equated safety with being flawless. Across these paths, the brain absorbed one rule: staying alert at all times feels less painful than being surprised. Built on those early roots, a set of hidden beliefs quietly fuels overthinking. The mind assumes that missing one detail will lead to punishment later. Saying the wrong thing feels capable of damaging connection beyond repair. Relaxation is interpreted as carelessness, inviting danger. Being unprepared seems equal to being judged or rejected. Overthinking is not powered by reasoned analysis, but by these beliefs repeating in the background. Building on those beliefs, the connection between anxiety and overthinking becomes clearer. Anxiety is the body's natural response when the brain senses possible danger. Overthinking then steps in as a mental strategy, an attempt to calm that alarm by analyzing everything. Anxiety creates fear and urgency, while overthinking slows action and locks you in place. As you remain stuck, the feeling of losing control grows stronger, feeding the anxiety again and keeping the loop alive. Following that cycle, overthinking takes on several distinct forms in everyday life. You overthink other people by turning silence into rejection or slow replies into disrespect. You overthink yourself by dissecting every sentence to locate a mistake. You overthink the future by stretching one decision into a chain of disasters. You overthink choices by searching for a risk-free option that does not exist. You even overthink emotions, trying to analyze them into exhaustion instead of letting them pass. As those forms pile up, the true cost becomes impossible to ignore. Energy drains away because the mind never truly rests. Even during quiet moments, decisions are delayed, not from lack of ability, but from fearing mistakes more than stagnation. Joy keeps getting postponed because attention stays fixed on potential threats. Presence in relationships fades as you remain trapped inside your head. Overthinking is not just tiring, it pushes you behind your own life. Taken on its own, the body gives very specific signals when overthinking has gone too far. Sleep becomes hard to enter, or sleep happens but leaves no sense of recovery. The jaw stays clenched, while the neck and shoulders grow stiff from long-held tension. The heart speeds up when you need to respond or decide. Irritability and being easily startled appear as the nervous system overloads. Often the body feels tired before the mind even has time to start. After noticing those body signals, it becomes clear why the advice "do not think anymore" keeps failing. That advice treats overthinking like a bad habit, when it was once a safety strategy. Forcing yourself to stop thinking tells the brain you are abandoning watch. When the feeling of safety does not change, the brain reactivates the loop to protect you. The real shift is simple. You do not need fewer thoughts. You need more safety. From that understanding, a more realistic way out of the loop becomes possible. Start by noticing the trigger, the exact moment the spiral begins. Shift the question from "what if everything goes wrong" to "what do I need to feel steadier right now?" Set a clear limit on thinking time so the mind cannot stretch it endlessly. Choose one small action, because movement calms the nervous system faster than analysis. Finally, name the real fear running underneath the thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. Using that practical approach, a simple frame can be applied in the middle of a spiral. Start by naming what is happening, reminding yourself that this is a thinking loop, not reality itself. Then create space by acknowledging that your mind is guessing rather than dealing with confirmed facts. After that, make a conscious choice to take one small action instead of continuing to think. Hold one anchor firmly. You do not need total certainty before you are allowed to move or live. This closing gathers everything just named into one clear truth. Overthinking once helped you survive a period where choice and safety were limited. It kept you alert when staying alert mattered. But now it takes more than it gives, quietly stealing energy, presence, and joy. Nothing about you is damaged. You are not failing. You are using an old survival strategy in a life that has changed. When inner safety is rebuilt, the brain finally learns it does not have to guard forever.